Jefferson climbs the ladder. Oh my goodness!
Raise your hand if your season's over. Welcome to hell. Sorry, that's good sports. I'm in hell as a Broncos fan. Who's with me this week? Raiders, Chargers, Bills, Bears, Rams, Saints, and Texans fans? That's actually a pretty sick party in hell when you think about it. Broncos fans bring the Bills fans bring the destruction. Raiders fans bring the gay legal Saints fans bring the atmosphere, Rams fans make sure not too many people show up, and the Texans fans bring the Actually, that sounds like a bad idea. That sounds terrifying. Still not as terrifying as the Chiefs' offense with Kadarius Toney. Oh no! Get it! That shit's so scary it already has Derek Carr crying. And he doesn't have to play the Kansas City Chiefs again until the final week of the season.
Sorry for being emotional. I'm just pissed off.
And I'm envious of Derek Carr because I'm so beaten down, I can't even cry for my team anymore. I've run out of tears. Let's recap the best, worst plays, players, games, moments, all from Week 10 in the NFL. That's good sports. Yes, this is the second upload of this video. The current upload was age restricted to 18 and up. I don't know exactly why. I tried to get clarity. YouTube told me they don't know why, but they're going to look into it for me. So I just cut a bunch of things that maybe would have caused the flagging. I censored the hell out of the beginning. You can watch that video, the 18 and up one, link below. But basically when that happens, your video's dead. Nobody will ever see it. So I wanted to re-upload this episode because I thought it was really good. And here it is. Just not as edgy, I guess. All right. Biggest waste? The Jaguars successfully starting their game with the surprise onside kick and recovery. It's a disgrace to the 2009 Saints to pull off one of the most exciting plays in football, only to lose by 10 points. And honestly, I'm a little surprised the Jags finished the game within 10 points of the Chiefs. Best at cunnilingus? Former official Mike Pereira, not the tongue-lashing officials are used to being associated with. Age over mullet. Remove your crown, Stephen Belichick. You have been dethroned. Worst pigeons? Look at this invasive species taking over the field. That was the first quarter, and this was Kenny Pickett by the fourth quarter. Hardest hit? That goes to Aiden Hutchinson, who suplexed running back David Montgomery at the goal line to save a touchdown in the Lions' gutsy win. Hutch also had a key sack in the final 2 minutes to give Detroit their second win in a row. My furious run winner? That's going to Quentin Nelson, who picked up a fumble in the end zone and looked like he was ready to bulldoze every Raider defender before the play was blown dead. New rule, never blow a play dead if Quentin Nelson has the football. Worst ejection? Dre Greenlaw, who was ejected for a helmet-to-helmet hit on Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert. I disagree with the ejection, not the flag, obviously, but this felt a little arbitrary. That said, if this is the price we have to pay for the NFL to not review helmet-to-helmet hits, I will pay my debt. Save that shit for college football. Best QB? Well, this week it was tough. Daniel Jones actually had the best passer rating, near perfect at a $153.3, but with just 17 attempts against the Texans, I'm not overly impressed here. Imagine if the Giants had, say, I don't know, Kadarius Toney on their roster. Aaron Rodgers had a pretty insane fourth quarter, and this block in overtime.
Bounces off a tackle. Aaron Rodgers.
Actually, I think I'll just give Rodgers the best block award. Tua threw 3 touchdowns, all the different players. No picks, no sacks. No sacks while facing Myles Garrett. Very impressive, but damn it. This honor is going to fucking Patrick fucking Mahomes and his terrifying new receiver, Kadarius Toney, helping the Chiefs look even more unstoppable on offense. Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns most of the week and 331 passing yards with 39 rushing yards. Kadarius Toney might actually be a legit Tyreek Hill replacement. He literally adjusts his gloves while the ball is in the air and makes a catch, and he hops into the end zone on 1 foot. A play designed by Andy Reid. Specifically, you can see here signaling for the 1 foot play. Kelsey got a touchdown, MVS got a touchdown, Toney had a touchdown, and the silent assassin, Noah 50 Shades of Grey's Anatomy, got a touchdown. We've got a worst game, worst QB award here. My worst QB, well, on a per throw basis, I'd have to say Leonard Fournette. But ultimately, I was left to decide between Russell Wilson and Andy Dalton. And since I already roasted Russell Wilson and the Broncos in this episode, we're gonna go with Andy Dalton. Choosing between Andy Dalton or Russell Wilson would have been a good thing back in 2015, but unfortunately for the Saints, and really all of us, it's 2022 now. And yes, Steelers Saints does get the honor, the shameful honor, of whatever they did on the football field. Kenny Pickett did outduel the Red Ryder BB gun by throwing no touchdowns, but also no interceptions, while Dalton threw a couple of passes to the wrong team, which helped him edge out the award over Russell Wilson. The Saints are so bad right now that Alvin Kamara might as well get suspended this season and get it over with. This worst game did get one of my best stats. Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin now has defeated all 31 NFL teams that are not the Steelers. His second greatest achievement next to managing Antonio Brown. Best offense? Well, the best offense on Sunday belonged to the Miami Dolphins, who dropped 39 on the Cleveland Browns. People have been pinning too much of Tua's success to Tyreek Hill, maybe me even a little bit, but Hill only had 44 yards against the Browns. Fullback Alec Ingold even had more than that. Tua was nearly perfect, throwing 3 tuds, no picks. The newly acquired running back Jeff Wilson Jr. picked up a $119 on the ground. Miami totaled 195 rushing yards. This offense is more than just 2 wide receivers, and they showed it against Cleveland. Tua's 285 passing yards with 3 touchdowns. He spread the ball around, and Tua hasn't thrown a pick since September 29th, and even then he had a concussion. His passer rating well over 100 in all but 2 games this season. Worst coach? Not Jeff Saturday, the other guy. Josh McDaniels is the only coach in NFL history to lose to Jeff Saturday. After TV guys John Gruden and Mike Mayock led the Raiders, it's fitting the Raiders lose to the new TV guy, Jeff Saturday. Welcome back, Jonathan Taylor, scoring his first touchdown since week 1 on this 66-yard rip. 4th 66-yard tutty of his career. Oddly, he wasn't even the best running back in this game. That honor, of course, goes to Matt Ryan and his long-ass rumbling, stumbling run. Now, the smartest thing Jeff Saturday did was insert Matt Ryan back into the starting lineup. Let the guy who can run a fucking offense by himself be your QB. Smart. Doesn't matter who the OC is, and it returns stability to the team. The already bad Raiders defense had no way to prepare for the dual threat QB that is Matty Ice. Raiders are 0-6 in 1-score games this season, and those 6 straight losses are the most in the league for active streaks. And Derek Carr only has 1 pass completed for more than 10 air yards in this game. Jeff Saturday was right. The Raiders do look horrible. Best rookie? Christian Watson. First Packers rookie with over 100 receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns since James Lofton in 1978, and the first rookie to grab 3 tugs against the Cowboys since Randy Moss in 1998. And now Aaron Rodgers is crossing Watson's name off his people to kill list like Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison. Let's just hope this is the Watson we keep talking about after Week 11. Best defender? Well, that's going to Packers safety Rudy Ford, who picked off Dak Prescott not once, but twice in Green Bay's comeback win over the Dallas Cowboys. He was brought in just to be a special teams player, but got thrown in on defense and had the game of his life on Sunday. Really impressive outing for Rudy Ford. They should make a movie about this guy and call it something catchy. I don't know. Ford. Worst play, worst finish, the Bears, who cannot finish games. Justin Fields has had some very impressive stats. He became the 4th QB to have a 50-yard passing and rushing touchdown in the same game, joining the likes of Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton, and Ace Parker. Plus, Chicago became the first team in NFL history to score at least 29 points in 3 consecutive games and lose all 3. Meanwhile, it takes my Broncos 3 games just to fucking score 29 points. Justin Fields has had plenty of best play candidates the last couple weeks, but this pick 6 is pretty much a shoe-in for worst play. Under duress, he just chucks this one up for grabs, but it's a bit of a heartwarming play for his former Ohio State teammate Jeff Okudah. The former number 3 overall pick who's really redeemed himself this season. Love to see it. This play got the Lions back into the game, and Detroit got their 2nd straight win with a 4th quarter comeback. Best moment? Lenny Fournette trying to throw the ball to Tom Brady, only to throw a pick, and only for all of us to see Tom Brady get a tripping penalty. Wide receiver Tom Brady versus corner Tariq Woolen is the most hilarious matchup this season, at least. We also learned that Giselle, Tom's ex-wife, is now dating a jiu-jitsu instructor. Even for Tom, that's gotta be intimidating. Although it could have been worse. She could be dating Eli Manning. Both the Bucs and Seahawks did a great job at preventing themselves from scoring in Germany, and Tom Brady tried to honor his favorite QB, Phillip Rivers, by throwing a 4th quarter pick for absolutely no reason. Best game, here we are, Bills-Vikings. This was the best game of the week, and it wouldn't be crazy to call this the best game of the season at this point. These teams combined for 63 points. The game went into overtime. We got the catch of the year on 4th down to keep the game alive. Look, I've never been a science denier, but the fact that Justin Jefferson came down with this ball forces me to ask, is science, specifically physics, bullshit? I say yes. And we had an all-time what the fuck moment when Josh Allen fumbled the snap at the goal line that gave the Vikings the lead with under 30 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Only to see Buffalo drive down the field and tie the game up with the field goal, whether or not Gabe Davis caught the ball. I mean, how crazy is a game when this is not the best catch in the game? Diggs catches Vikings. Ooh. Now I'm going to give some more credit to Justin Jefferson. It wasn't just about that one catch, even though that one catch was the best catch of the week. Jefferson hauled in a total of 10 grabs for 193 yards and a touchdown. He now has the most 100-yard games through his first 3 seasons at 20. Fastest receiver to 4,000 receiving yards. He was the reason Minnesota got to the 1-yard line at the end of the game. Without him, they have no chance to not score on 2 attempts from the half-yard line. Oh, and we had a family reunion between Dalvin and James Cook. Those two combined for 141 rushing yards and a touchdown. And I will not say which one had 119 of those yards and the touchdown. But Dalvin, you're a terrible brother. Now, even though it was the Vikings and the Bills, one of these teams had to win on a clutch field goal in overtime. And Greg Joseph knocked one through before Patrick Peterson iced the game with an interception in the end zone. Even Dan Campbell couldn't keep his eyes off this game.
You know, they hung in there in the 4th quarter and found their way back. What is going on right here?
Overtime.
You don't want to know. It's going overtime.
And finally, my UnHung Hero awards. I gotta give this to Colt McCoy and James Conner, the game nobody cared about. Colt McCoy met the Rams and John the Wolf of Ball Street. John Wolford. Both starting QBs out in this game. And the Rams also lost Cooper Kupp. Both bench warmers, though, played well. McCoy finding A.J. Green for his sole passing touchdown. James Conner had 2 rushing TDs in this game, and it just looked like some of the dysfunction in Arizona was gone, with Murray out of the lineup. Now, Kyler is far more talented than Colt McCoy, but I have to wonder if he's willing to be coached up. And those are your best and worst things from Week 10. Please subscribe here on YouTube. Yes, the Broncos got the worst game of the week, and come back tomorrow for power rankings.